Hi, and welcome to a brand new video of the Target Individual Program, Target Individual Experience. Let's see. So, earlier on today, um, by the way, today is Monday, August 23rd, 2021. The time is 2:06. So, they recently started today since I got up and I had to go on to my school website. All right, I was going to attend a Zoom meeting. Okay, I was going to attend a Zoom meeting because I finally was able to register for classes, except, hold on a sec here, except, oh, that's too much. Okay, let's see. How about that now? Yeah, still still too much. I don't want to put my hands in the camera, so that's why I'm turning off the webcam. So I was finally able to register for class over the weekend, which was yesterday, because Saturday I still couldn't. So finally, yesterday, Sunday, um, I went on there. I said, let me just let me check, So went on there. I was able to register for some of my classes. And I needed to take a pre-calculus class, which is Math 1375. There were no pre-calculus classes available, none. Okay, so I wanted to go on to the Zoom call, right? Because during the week they have the register have Zoom calls, um, particular time of the day. So today was from 10 to 12. So, uh, you know, try to call into the Zoom call. I had to wait um, for a while, a long while. Okay, more so than usual. Okay, I think I was waiting for about 20 minutes before they finally somebody came on and allowed me into the Zoom call. But prior to that, while I was waiting, I said to myself, let me just go back and check to see if they added, um, the pre-calculus class, because I know it was left out intentionally. Okay, and so after I had selected my classes, this was yesterday. It was an okay schedule, but I really needed the pre-calculus class because for me to take the advancing class, I need to take pre-calculus. Okay, and so there were no pre-calculus classes available, none whatsoever. They had multiple classes, algebra, calculus 1, calculus 2, what have you. And I know they wanted me to take calculus, right? Which again, if I take calculus, I'm not going to pass it. Okay? This is what they did to me the first time when I went back to school, gave me calculus, and I had to drop it because I wasn't going to pass it. Okay? And so, so this morning when I went onto the Zoom, like I said, they had me waiting for like 20 minutes. And then I said to myself, let me just go check to see if they added the calculus class back, calculus classes. Because, as a TI, we know these things. We know that they do these things. Okay? We know that they deliberately will, um, you know, take certain things off of the internet or what have you. Whatever it is that you're doing and you're trying to get into, they will take it off. You wouldn't even see it. Just like how recently I've been talking about how they've been deleting videos and websites off the internet, right? To hide the shit that they've done in the past and they continue to do. So um, I went and sure enough, they added a calculus class, not the whole lot. Because if you go to the school website and you go to the classes, even the classes that are filled, they're still there. Okay, they don't take them off of the website when you're registering for class. When you go to search criteria, you'll see classes are full. Okay, it shows you that they don't take the entire uh, classes for that particular subject off of the internet. And this is what they did with pre-cal because they know I needed to take pre-cal and they wanted me to take calculus. They wanted to see, oh, let's see if he's so cocky and confident that if he'll take pre-cal. This is how they think, right? Understand that the people who are doing this to us, they're the crazy ones. They're the people with the mental illness. Okay, and then they try to project that onto you. Okay, I mean, who sits outside in their car monitoring somebody on the internet and blowing their horn every time a person click on something? Okay, and they've been doing that all day today. So I finally had to upgrade my VPN membership. Okay, so I can have more countries to, you know, bounce my IP uh, all over the place, and they calm down. But now, what they're doing now is monitoring me in home, right? See through see through the wall technology, that sort of thing. Okay, so they always have to have some way of harassing you, right? The minute you put a stop to one, they come with something else, and this is continuously. It never stops, and this is why I continue to do what I do to expose it. All right. Because I said in my previous video how they were trying to send me subliminal message about, oh, if they stop monitoring me, they're gonna throw me in jail or send the cops after me. Well, go ahead, because like I said, I do not give consent to anyone experimenting on me, and being that they have, it's non-consensual and it's illegal. It's as simple as that. They're criminals. Okay, this is who they are, particularly those in law enforcement, and I'll prove it to you. Okay, I will certainly prove it to you. And so they have been, nonstop, man. Even last night at 2 minutes to 3 in the morning, you know, every time I, again, touch something, they're outside, honking their horn, all the police siren. That's why I did a video that early in the morning or that late at night, because this is what they were doing, and they continue to do this. Okay, and then they're never gonna stop. Okay, and this is why we have to keep exposing what it is that they're doing to let other TIs know, no matter what they subliminal message they try to tell you, they're never going to stop targeting you. And particularly a person like me, who I'm fighting back, okay? So they're going to definitely step shit up. You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, the neighbors, every time they come in and out of their apartment, they're slamming their doors. You know what I'm saying? So, they always, like I said, will find a way to harass you. Okay? And again, just to let you guys understand and know um, that what they're doing makes them criminals, and they know this, and therefore they are criminals, because what they're doing is called abuse of power. Okay, this is what they're doing. This is abuse of power. You know, and it is an unlawful act done in their official capacity. So don't let them fool you into believing that you're the criminal. You're not the criminal. They're trying to make you into a criminal, but they try to make you into whatever they say you are because it suits their narrative. This is how they get people to join in and participate in this by labeling you and projecting who they are onto you. So don't let them fool you. Okay. So anyway, let me go back to my what happened with my class, what have you. So anyway, I just added actually had to drop a class, and it's funny how they do this, right? Because the one calculus class that eventually appeared conflicted with another class that I needed to take. Okay, so I had to, and thank goodness there was a another um, class that needed to take it's the same class, but it's a different professor. Um, you know, at another time that I was able to switch it around. Okay, but it shows you how calculated they are, right? And this is why when we're exposing them, we have to be just as how they are. So we have to be calculated in how and when we expose them and what to do in exposing them. Okay? So behind me, you see here is a picture of experimentation being done where you see on this side, on my left, you'll see a monkey, and then you'll see a researcher, a scientist, or a neurosurgeon um, with a remote control device. Okay, and this is in the Yale University laboratory, and it shows you how these universities were involved in these sorts of experiments, even on human beings. But they're not going to tell you that. Okay, so let's look directly behind me. And here you see a monkey, and he has a brain chip interface, right? And then the picture on the right is you see it's just an illustration, but you see a microchip going into the temple of this person's head. I mean, this is an illustration. There's nothing like that where you can just insert a chip like that, right? What they do is non-invasive, basically through the nostril, right? Because the nostril is a direct pathway to the brain. This is when they do, what do you call it, when they're, uh, like when a person die, what have you, and they want to take their brain, what do they do? They put something up their nose, twist it, and pull it out, right? So when your microchip, they take a long needle to insert it into your brain. Okay, that's what they do. All right, there's no need for these sorts of cruel measures as in the past. And again, this was in the 1960s. Okay, and look how small this is. I mean, it may seem big now, but back then, this was very, very small. And now they're smaller than a rice grain, so they can easily insert it wherever the hell they want to. Okay, you ever heard of nano size microchips? Okay, so um, like I said, don't be fooled, people. Don't make them fool you and make you think that they need to have you on an operating table to, uh, cut your head open and cut into your skull to access the brain. Now, that may be true for certain surgeries, but when it comes to microchips and implantations, no. Okay, so understand that. So anyway, so back to the Zoom. Sorry to sidestep, but so anyway, after I waited for 20 minutes And then I just said, let me go check to see, you know, um, if I can register for, not register, but if there's any pre-cal class. There was only one class, and like I said, I had to switch it with another. I had to drop another class, add um, the same class, different professor, and you know, I had my schedule. But then I end up dropping another class and taking another class. Okay, because the classes, the I would have had three classes, which was a lot of work. So I said, okay, let me drop one, and then I'll take a class that uh, you know that will help me. So I did, and it's wouldn't uh, I wouldn't be up late at night, studying for three classes that were very intense. You know, uh, at this point, my memory is still not that great. It's getting better, taking these natural remedies and started listening to these frequencies that's supposed to help to increase brain matter and stuff like that. So I'm finding my own way to try to repair a lot of the damage that they have done. Okay. Meanwhile, they're lying to the public saying that, oh, we haven't done any damage because look, he passed this class. Okay. Yeah. After, failing it twice. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I would go to take a test, they would do a psychological campaign. I would forget. And because now classes is online, when I study for a class, I'll retain the information when it comes time for the test, right? And I usually study a few hours before the test, okay? But when I had to do that and I had to go to school and step into the classroom and they had the students doing all these psychological uh, skits, right? Doing all these hand signals, stuff like that, I would just forget. So having classes online is better for me because I can study, I can retain the information, I can, and particularly when it comes to a lot of intensive writing, which I had psychology last time I took classes, and I'm doing psychology again because it's important as a person who has been victimized by the United States government and its citizens and those living here in the United States by the direction and command of those within law enforcement and the security agencies. Um, you know, Understanding the psychological processes and how they operate and how the tactics and method used against you, the effect of it that it has on you, not just psychologically, but also physically and neurologically, it's important. It is very, very important. And for every TI, I always say, even if you don't go back to school, there's a wealth of information available online. A lot of stuff I have to download because they're deleting a lot of stuff off the internet. You know what I'm saying? They are covering their tracks, okay? So that if anybody hear a TI talking and want to go find out what is they talking about, there wouldn't be that many information left. And there used to be a vast treasure trove of information. Within the past 10 years, they've all been deleted off the internet. Sites have been shut down, videos removed, you know? So, anyway, so let's get back to school. So, what they were doing, so when I finally got on the Zoom call, and when I got on the Zoom call, you wouldn't believe it, right? Is after I went to look to see if there's any pre-calculus class, okay? The minute I saw that class, after 20 minutes of waiting, then they let me into the Zoom call. Let me see how they work. And I'm talking to the register, and the register was like, "Well, that's all the classes they have." I said, "Why is there only one class that's available for pre-cal? That's on the website." And then she was like, "Well, students were registering for classes months ago." I'm like, "And when I took um, when I took math classes, if I take them last minute, there have always been classes available online, even if they were full. The list of classes was there. It's always there." Okay. So then she was like, "Well, you have to talk to the head of the department." Again, I understand this is administrative manipulation, you know, and this is why I love this website. And they tried to take it down once, and I'm so glad that it came back up and it's still there today. Is psychologicalharassment.com. Okay, this website right here. Okay, and you know everything you need to know as a TI that that is going to be done to you and have been done to you is on this website. Okay, particularly when it comes to this psychological harassment, administrative manipulation, and coercive mind control tactics, harassment networks. It's all there. Okay, so one of the things that they would do and what they were doing today is the administrative frustrate and discourage game. This is what they love to do to me, particularly when I was physically going to school, to frustrate me, to discourage me, to confuse me. You know, I give you an example. When I first decided to go back to school, um, I went to admissions. Okay, I told them I was a student and everything, and they should have had my records, but they were like, no, and this and that, what have you. So anyway, I had to go through the process. Um, I was going to class, right? This was like a month in. Was it a month in? Oh, this was before. Sorry, before I started class. They told me that I couldn't take class because my immunization was not up to date. I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, I went here before, right? So what are you talking about? I am, you know what I'm saying? My immunization is up to date. And they're like, well, it's not in the system, so, you got to go get your, what is it, MMR shot, measles, mumps, and rubella. Okay, so I said, all right, whatever. The next day, go down, woke up early, went down to Department of Health, stayed in line. Back was hurting me, leg was hurting me for hours. Finally, I get up there. Finally, got the vaccination. Go back to administration, right? Now a different person is at the front desk. Gave her my paper, and she said, "Why did you go get um, this shot again? You're in the system, and it says that you've already been, you meet the immunization requirement." And I started telling her, I said, "Listen, you know, I said this was being done to me on purpose, okay?" And she was like, "Yeah." She's like, "All the person had to do because you said that you've been here before was to pull up the old, pull up your information, all of it, right? And it's there, okay? So it was a complete waste of my time. But this is what they love to do." And then I talked about I had to actually went to the president of the college, or who I thought was the president, to complain about one of their workers in registration, on the phone, out yelling out my social security number out loud. And I had to go make a complaint about that because there was this girl standing behind me, and as soon as she finished calling out my social security number out loud, the girl turned around and left. So I knew it was planned. Okay, but this is what they do. So, and then the same thing with my financial aid. They were going to drop me from my class, and I had financial aid. So I went down to the financial aid many times. Okay, I must have went down there like twice a week for an entire month. You know, then again, somebody else, I get to speak to somebody else, and they're like, "Well, you have your financial aid. I don't know why they don't just bring it over, and because it's there. Everything is okay. I don't know why they don't just, bring it over to the system." Okay. So this is what they do to delay, to frustrate, to discourage, And like I said, I knew going in again having to because I didn't go last semester because I couldn't register because I owed them like $1,000, and I'm just like, and this is their fault. You know, was it my first semester? My second semester, I had to drop a class, and they were targeting me so heavily. Literally and truly, when I went to the register to drop a class, uh, because I just wasn't thinking right because of the targeting. And so I said, okay, I said to her, well, if I don't want to drop any classes where I will have underneath the allowed credits for my financial aid. Okay. So I end up, and this was the time when they gave me calculus. So I ended up dropping calculus. But instead of having 12 credit, I ended up having 11 credit. And I said to her, and I should have looked, but again, the way how my headspace was at because of the targeting, I didn't even. So she was like, "Yeah, you have 12 credits, so you're good." That's what she told me. You have 12 credits, so you're good. So because of that, now I end up on the school. Okay. So then when I paid it off, um, you know, I couldn't go last semester because I was still paying it off, and then they wouldn't even allow me to um, get a get into the payment plan method, in which I still go to school, but I'll pay it off. Right? They did not allow me to do that at all. I was blocked from all payment plans. Okay. And so let me go back here. Um, okay. And so, you know, I just pay it off every month. And then I receive a $400, um, what do you call it? Student forgiveness program. I received $400 in that. Right. Now, mind you, now I had just paid the full amount. So I was told that I get a refund of $200. They refunded me $46. Okay, so I sent back an email to the person that told me the amount of refund I would get. Now, okay, when I just registered for class, 12 credit, I have enough financial aid. Okay, so now my financial aid is like third almost $3,700. I mean, my bill, my tuition is $3,700, which includes a $200 that they claim that I owe now. So again, it's never ending. It is never ending. Okay, and this is done purposefully, intentionally. Okay, this is what they are doing. Okay, this is what they are doing. Always trying to find a way to extort money from you, to steal money from you, because this is how they operate. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are getting extorted and they can't say nothing because they feel that if they do, then they'll be in trouble with the law. Not understanding that this is how they fund themselves, fund their operations, right? By manipulating you and the people around you. I was talking about the Kingpin and Spider-Man, And what do these criminal organizations do? They will manipulate you. They will do things to catch you in an act that may be um, criminal, but again, it is because of their manipulation of you and the people around you. Okay? And so I have no doubt that this is how they fund these types of operation and fund their lifestyle also. Okay? All right. So let me move on. So not only with the school situation, but now also with things that I ordered. All right. Ordered from Amazon, package never came. Amazon wouldn't said they did refund me the money, but they told me they I couldn't they couldn't replace the item. And I don't. I'm like, why? Why you can't replace it? You know. So they refunded me my $15, whatever, $15 and how many cents what have you, and I end up ordering the item again. But I didn't use my address. I used a different address, and it came. Then I ordered two things. Okay, you'll see here. This is one that was delivered, and I want you guys to pay special attention. Let me do this. I want you guys to pay special attention to Wednesday, October 18th, 2021. Now this is one package. Now here's the other package, okay? And let's go down to Wednesday, August 18th, right? Both package arrive at Ross TWA PA. Let's go to the other one. It's a different number now, and I want you to know this one says delivered, right? This one here it says delivered to be delivered Tuesday. Okay, I'm going to explain to you guys something. Okay, so again, Wednesday, August 18th, 2021. Wednesday, August 18th, 2021. 7:43 Ross TWA PA in transit. Wednesday, August 18th, 2021. 7:43 Ross TWA PA in transit. Okay. Thursday, August 19th. Let's see. 12:53 left Edison, right? Got to Brooklyn, delivered. This is one. And these are big packages. Thursday, August 19th, they send the other package to Ellenwood, Georgia. Okay? Friday, it left Ellenwood, Georgia, and it went to Olin, North Carolina. Then Bridgewater, TWP, New Jersey. Then Kess Bay, New Jersey. Sunday, okay, again, left Kess Bay and 1:35 p.m. New York in transit. You cannot go from Kess Bay, New Jersey to New York in what? 9 minutes. And I'm gonna say, see this number here, and this was done deliberately because over the weekend, whenever I click on the number 9, or let's say if I'm on Facebook and I have 9 notification, they would start with the sirens or the car honking. Okay, so this is what they do. This is how they send their subliminal messages, right? So now check this out. Remember now, it says New York, right? In transit. Monday at 1:36 a.m. We're at Upper Macungie, TWA, Pennsylvania, in transit, which doesn't make any sense. Okay? Then again, today, Monday, finally arrive in Brooklyn, New York at 10:20. Now, how long did they have me on hold for before I get on the Zoom call? For 20 minutes. Okay? This is what they do. This is how they play with numbers, and I understand what it is that they do. Okay? Because that 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 aura of mysticism, supernatural, I don't feel that anymore. Because when you understand that this is deliberately being done in a way that makes it seem like it's some supernatural thing that's going on or some spiritual thing that's going on, it is not. It is they're just manipulating you. They're manipulating situations to, give whatever outcome they want to give. So there's nothing that you will do or don't do. Okay, they know the outcome and it will always be that way. Okay, because they are in control of it. Okay, so I understand that. This is why I don't even worry, particularly when it's with the number 32 and they start, I, you know, that's the number I know that I've been conditioned to. So it doesn't matter what I do. When they start targeting me in that way, yeah, you know, I can go to the store. I get change, 32 cents. I can go to the bank, take out money. You have da 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 $32 that's in your account, what have you. I go to the McDonald's. The ticket that I get, it have the number 32 in it. Again, this is manipulation because again, these are people within the law enforcement agencies, the security agencies, the DoD that can manipulate the network within the United States, whether it be the electrical grid, whether it be the internet, whether it be, devices. Once you understand that, once you know that, you know, because I hear some TIs talk about, oh, sometimes I think I'm psychic. No, you're not psychic. They just this is what they want you to think. This is part of what Robert J. Lipton coined mystic manipulation. Okay, or Melo. Okay, so I understand these things, right? Because this is what they do. Okay, so um, okay, this website's not loading properly because I just upgraded my VPN, like I said, because it gets frustrating. You sit on your computer and everything you click, they're like blowing their horn or some sirens going off, you know. And so I had to upgrade my VPN because you know the the subscription that I had, it just didn't have enough locations. Okay, so because they understand and they know what location I can um, bounce my IP to, they would know. And like I said, what they would do also is that they would, if they can't track me online, they would, if I have a site open, right? They would log me out of the site, and then I have to log back in, and that's how. And then like within a couple seconds later, they start with the car honking or the sirens again. Okay, so yeah. So let's talk about uh, what it could be again because of the IP. That's why it's not. Okay, let me just read this. So, a simple definition of the abuse of power is the misuse of a position of power to take unjust advantage of individuals, organization, or government. Abuse of power have been variously described as white-collar crime, economic crime, organizational crime, occupational crime, public corruption, organized crime, and government and corporate deviance. See, they're criminals. Okay? The common element of these crimes is deceit. Just as in a coercive persuasion program, is to deceive, to manipulate and to deceive. Okay, although such acts have been perpetrated since earliest history, recent technology and social changes have created a climate more conducive to them. Efforts in the United States to understand and combat white collar crime have included data collection, enactment of legislation, proposal for additional legislation, designation of white collar crime as one of the four priority areas of the Department of Justice, efforts by federal regulatory agencies, and expanded state and local agencies' effort. And you see, the the thing about this is that those same agencies are the ones that are committing these crimes also. Okay? All right, and expanded state and local agency efforts. Training programs have been set up to develop the skills needed to investigate these crimes. In the current economic climate, careful spending of available funds is essential to maintain the emphasis on improving prevention, enforcement, and prosecution. International information should be shared on common problems and cooperative approach to combating transnation crime should be sought. But again, like I said, it is these very same agencies that are committing the exact same crime that they are charged with investigating. It's like with the police investigate themselves. They're never going to find themselves guilty. Okay? So let's not be fools here. Okay? So now here's an example of these people, just as Trump, Biden, but again, as I'm speaking from a black person perspective now. So if you're a TI, you don't want to listen to this, you can, turn, you know, uh, close the video or stop the video, whatever it is that you want to do. Um, the Biden is expanding Trump war on domestic violent extremists and is sweeping up black people. So as I said, as a black person, it doesn't matter who you vote for in office, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, the agenda is the same, which is to destroy the lives of black people, particularly black men. Okay? So when you see black people, holding on to being a Democrat as if it's some badge of honor, when it doesn't matter which Democratic president is in office, life isn't getting easier for you as a black person. Okay? Because when it comes to these things, you see, they don't crack down on these white supremacists as they do black. And here's the difference, though. They will put uh, black civil rights activists in the same category as the KKK, as the Proud Boys, as the what do you call them? There are other groups, other white nationalist groups. Okay, this is what they do, and because they're trying to keep black people in a position in the bottom and to prevent black people from gaining economic equality. You see, 'cause that's the biggest threat is economic equality. All right, it's not equal rights; it's equal economic equality. Because when black people have equal economic equality, we don't have to go to white people to get a job. We build our own industries, our own corporations, our own businesses. You understand? We're not going to be the one to be fired so quickly. You know, pay amounts black people will increase, right? Black people as a whole financially will do better. But this is they don't want this. So this is why these policies will continue, and they will continue to concentrate on black people, okay, who are the victims of systematic oppression and economic oppression. So you have to understand that. Okay, so I just wanted to just put that in there, because there are a lot of TIs who are blacks, okay, as well as white and Asians, what have you, and so it's different. Some things, I'm not going to say everything is different, but some things is different for us as black people, okay? And I know sometimes a lot of TIs, they get in, they feel it. Well, I'm targeted to and this and that. Yeah, but the fact is still that if you wasn't targeted, black people will still be targeted, and I've always been targeted. Our targeting don't stop. What you are experiencing is what we have been experiencing for 400 and some odd years. Okay, so it's not to say that I'm not trying to diminish what's happening to you, but understand this: before you became a target, black people were targets. Okay, understand that. All right. So again, like I said, I know a lot of y'all TI, especially white TI, y'all getting y'all feelings when I start, and again, that's an issue that you have to work within yourself to that understanding, to have that understanding, because you want other people to understand what you're going through. Okay? So people are not going to understand what you're going through if you don't understand what other people are going through. Right? All right. So with that being said, um, let me put the okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. So with that being said, um, like I said, this is something that I'll continue to do and expose them, you know, in the way that they should be exposed by the truth. Okay? And we cannot forget as TIs that there are those amongst us who are unable to fight the fight, unable to speak up. And so we have to be their voice. Okay? I have to say, please stop, insulting TIs who, you know, don't speak up about their targeting or don't talk about their targeting. You know, just be sympathetic and understanding. Because, in this program, what they do try to get you to be is silent, to not speak up about what it is that they're doing. This is why they use the police as an intimidated force to try to shut you up. Okay? And so, as a TI, I want you guys to know those who don't speak up or don't say anything, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Not everybody is um, ready. When you feel the time is right for you to speak up, I'm sure you will speak up. And if you don't, it's fine. There are plenty of us out there who are speaking up on your behalf. Okay? So, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.